Welcome to SGT Times Explainer. I am Dr. Sarika with you. Today we will discuss what is diplomatic immunity. Historically, diplomatic immunity originated from respect for messengers who delivered communication on behalf of their sovereign. Even when they carried terrible news, they were safe. Diplomatic immunity is a concept of international law that states that some foreign government officials or international organization officials are immune from the jurisdiction of the police and judiciary of the country in which they are present. Most diplomatic and consular practices, including diplomatic immunity, were regulated in the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations of 1961 and Vienna Conventions on Consular Relations of 1963. The conventions offer immunity based on the requirement for immunity in carrying out their responsibilities. A diplomatic agent has more immunity than a consular staff. Diplomatic immunity has improved good international ties among states in a multipolar world. Diplomatic agents and immediate family members have the following privileges and immunities. They may not be arrested or detained. Their houses may not be invaded and searched. They may not be subpoenaed as witnesses, and they may not be prosecuted. Diplomatic actions can be carried out by the head of state, the government, and the ministers of foreign relations and diplomatic agents. Diplomatic immunity is based on reciprocity, which is that favors, penalties, and advantages bestowed by one state on residents or the diplomatic agency of another should be reciprocated with respect. It can be accomplished in any way imaginable, such as by lowering tariffs, simplifying visa requirements, easing travel restrictions, etc. Why is it required? Diplomatic immunity is a provision of international law that protects diplomatic agents from the jurisdiction of foreign states, allowing them to carry out their duties without interruption. The underlying concept of diplomatic immunity is a functional need. The Vienna Convention's preamble says unequivocally that the purpose of immunities and privileges is to ensure that the diplomatic mission's functions are performed efficiently and effectively in the presenting state. Now, what exactly does diplomatic immunity imply? Diplomats are immune from the host country's criminal, civil, and administrative jurisdiction. It doesn't imply that they are free to act whatever they like in the host nation to which they have been invited. It is permissible for police officers to disregard it when required to prevent a serious crime or an urgent threat to public safety. Even though diplomatic vehicles are not detained for traffic offences, police officers may issue penalties and host governments may revoke driving privileges. The sending state may renounce the immunity from the jurisdiction of diplomatic agents and others having immunity under Article 37. So, according to Article 32, if a person is a criminal suspect, the host nation might request that the home country waive the criminal suspect's immunity. In the alternative, the suspect may be expelled from the host country. The host nation's immunity doesn't free the person from the jurisdiction of their own country. The host country must also assess if any member of the diplomatic staff is an unwanted person. This can be done at any moment, and there is no requirement to justify such a decision. So in these cases, the person's home nation would usually recall them or end their duty with the mission. Diplomatic immunity for the BRICS Summit 2023. BRICS is an acronym for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. BRICS is an acronym for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, which are all developing economies, and beginning in 2009, they had officially yearly summits. These meetings are arranged to better the economic situation of the BRICS countries and allow their leaders to collaborate on these efforts. The South African government has given diplomatic immunity to all the international participants, including Russia's President Vladimir Putin and senior Russian officials, for BRICS-related activities to be conducted in the country before the next summit. The International Court of Justice, a significant United Nations organization, issued a warrant for Putin's arrest. South Africa is obligated to detain Putin while he is in the nation since it is a member of the organization. Despite this, South Africa, the current BRICS alliance chair, has officially invited Putin to the August meeting. According to Article 27 of the Rome Statute, even incumbent heads of the state are not exempt from prosecution by ICC. Article 98, on the other hand, tends to imply that the ICC cannot request the South Africa arrest Putin unless Russia agrees to re-announce Putin's immunity from prosecution, which Moscow would surely not do. So that's all for today in SGT Times Explainer. Thanks for watching.